We talk about how health is the combination of body, mind, and spirit. And we spend a lot of time on our body with diet and exercise. And we spend some time on our mind as far as detoxifying the inputs that come in from our phone and from social media and from TV. And one of my personal downfalls is watching scary television or listening to crime stories on podcasts. So we take a look at the body, we take a look at the mind, but really truly incorporating spirituality as a key piece of our healthcare routines may be what is holding us back from creating true inner peace. It may also be what is causing us to have ongoing and repeated health issues, chronic illnesses that it seems like we're doing everything right, except we're not putting in the soul. We're not crafting authentic power that helps to elevate our consciousness as well as the consciousness of others. Today, I interview Dr. Anna Yusim, who is a board-certified psychiatrist who, like me, went a little bit off into left field, studying Kabbalah, Buddhist meditation, and working with South American shamans and Indian gurus. She applies her knowledge of both allopathic medicine with her spiritual learning to help patients live happier and more meaningful lives. Let's get to the show. Welcome to the Lindsey Elmore Show, a podcast that helps you find fulfillment amidst chaos. On this show, I interview thought leaders, doctors, creatives, spiritual gurus, and game changers who inspire you to pursue your dreams, overcome obstacles, and leave your mark. Dr. Anna Yusim is a world-renowned, award-winning Stanford and Yale-educated board-certified psychiatrist with a robust private practice in New York City and Connecticut. On the faculty at Yale University Medical School, Dr. Yusim is the best-selling author of Fulfilled: How the Science of Spirituality Can Help You Live a Happier, More Meaningful Life. Having helped more than 1,500 patients live happier, more meaningful lives, Dr. Yusim is presently creating a spirituality and mental health center at Yale and making a feature-length documentary on the interface of mental health and spirituality. Dr. Yusim is a media expert and frequent contributor on CNN, Fox News, NBC, ABC, and more. She has authored more than 100 articles for the lay public and has been a guest on countless national and international TV shows, radio programs, and podcasts. Dr. Yusim has published more than 70 academic articles, book chapters, scientific abstracts, and book reviews on various topics related to psychiatry. After working as a neurobiology researcher with Dr. Robert Saplonsky and completing her studies at Stanford, Yale Medical School, and the NYU Psychiatric Residency Program, Dr. Yusim felt that there was something missing from her life. In her quest to find it, she traveled, lived and worked in more than 60 countries while studying Kabbalah, learning Buddhist meditation, and working with South American shamans and Indian gurus. Today, we talk about what is missing from our approach to health and wellness. We may have the diet, we may have the exercise, we may be doing all the quote right things. But how is the one missing piece of our soul holding us back from overall health? Dr. Anna Yusim, welcome to the Lindsey Elmore Show.
Thank you so much, Lindsey. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
You have such a diverse background. You're a board certified psychiatrist, but yet you help people to really apply the science of spirituality into us crafting a more meaningful life. And as I was reading through your work and listening to you get interviewed on some other shows, I was so reminded of one of my great mentors, Rachel Remen, who is a physician out of UCSF, who wrote several books about how do we maintain our heart and soul when we are practicing medicine day in and day out within these systems that are broken, that are stressful, that have 1,000 things wrong with them. And one of the things she said is, whenever you see a white feather on the street, what if that just became a blessing? And you don't ever pause to take note of the white feathers on the street. But as soon as you pause to take note of them, you see them everywhere. And they become this huge blessing, and they become a way that you can pause and say, this is a great thing that happened to me. And I've had some friends say, well, isn't that just a coincidence? You just happened to walk past a white feather. And that's the choice, isn't it? It's the choice to take these moments and honor them as sacred, or to just let them pass us by.
I think that is so, so deep, Lindsey. And absolutely, this is really the root of my work. You're exactly right. And so first, let's start with the concept of soul that you mentioned. And with all the systems that we have that unfortunately in many ways are quite broken. So this idea of soul. So I went to Yale Medical School, Stanford. I did my undergraduate at Stanford and my residency at NYU. Now, this concept of soul was never mentioned throughout the time of training, and it's really not mentioned in the medical establishment. So what is this concept we call soul? And how is it that we bring doctors, medical professionals, and people more in contact with the soul when that's really not a fundamental part of the training? So my whole thing was, at some point I had encountered during my residency training a dark night of the soul. And so I was using the traditional tools of my profession, which is psychotherapy, and it was helping, but it was only helping somewhat. And so I started wondering, I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be a healer. And here I have all this training under my belt, but I can't really heal myself. It's not healing me enough. What do I need to do? So then I got really interested in healing modalities in other parts of the world. And then I traveled to learn Buddhist meditation in Thailand. I traveled to South Africa and South America to work with the different shaman there to learn about shamanic practices and their understanding of healing. Then I came to Israel, came to New York City to learn Kabbalah and understand what that means for healing. And in the midst of all that, I started understanding, what is this concept we call soul? And my favorite definition of the soul comes from a shaman with whom I worked in Mexico named Fernando Broca. And he said that the soul is composed of two parts. The first is that which connects us to everybody and everything, which is essentially our interconnectedness. This is what people mean when they say we're all one unified soul. And the second part of the soul is that which encapsulates your unique talents, abilities, dreams, fantasies, that which you have come to do and that only you can do in this world. And in that way, our soul encompasses our uniqueness as well as our interconnectedness with all human beings. And so how do you then take the soul and apply it to broken systems? It's by connecting to your soul every day and making sure that your soul is aligned with what it is that makes you happy, what it is that makes you feel fulfilled, and that you're tapping into that, whether that is by meditation, by reading something inspirational, by doing something that raises your vibration and increases your frequency, by doing certain yoga practices, by being part of a community or spiritual tradition, by doing work that you find incredibly meaningful. It's aligning with your soul and making sure that that alignment is primary and one of the primary focuses of your life.
As a psychiatrist, you have to have faced some opposition to people saying, look, it's all in the brain, it's all the mind, it's all the body, and who cares how this soul is intertwined with all of it? Where do you think the breakdown occurs? Because as you said, you're very highly educated. You had all the training, all the knowledge, but you had no real tools to truly heal yourself. Why is it that in so many situations, diet, exercise, medication, all of the kind of more tangible things are not enough, and what scientific evidence that we have that cultivating this spirituality in our life can be beneficial for disease healing?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, right? And so you're exactly right. What is it that breaks down when medication, meditation, psychotherapy, um, yoga, exercise isn't enough? Often it's some deeply held unconscious core beliefs that we don't even know we're holding, that could be holding us back in some way. And those beliefs can indeed be that we're out of alignment with our own soul and that it's not okay to be in alignment. And why could this be? It could be for many different reasons, including that we came up and grew up in a society where there were certain expectations of what it meant to be a woman, what you are supposed to do when you grow up, how you're supposed to live, what you're supposed to want, especially for those of us who have people pleasing tendencies. And therefore, we especially want approval from our parents, from society, from teachers. And we've gotten so much of our sense of self worth from that approval. It's hard to then differentiate who am I and what do I really want from what is it that's wanted by all of these different people who have all these ideas and judgments about who I should be and how I should be living. And I think it's getting at those deeply held unconscious core beliefs and at who we really are. That's the thing that's often missing from the traditional, medical regimen, often that includes some alternative healing modalities as well.